I called it George's broom closet because I try to make brooms you don't have to hide in a closet. Generally when I'm up here, it's just me. I get so caught up in the moment. And with this machine, I can turn a broom out if I really get going in 5 minutes. So, but I'll get so lost in it, I'll look around, all of a sudden I've got 25 brooms laying. I was like, wow, that was cool.
Is it possible that a broom could save your life? I know a man that happened to.
2009, I was diagnosed with stage 4 tongue cancer. I think what kind of drove me, part of really was these. And really the brooms kind of, really kind of helped save me.
5 years cancer-free now, George Jones Jr. spends his days in the back of his barn just outside Florence, carrying on a true family tradition, which dates back to the days of the Great Depression.
Broom making in my family started in 1931. You know, back then brooms were selling for a quarter a piece. So over the course of a day, they could make 100 brooms or more. So 25 bucks a day in 1931 was a lot of money. My grandfather taught me. It was a lot of fun. But I kind of wanted to approach it a little differerently. I wanted to look at brooms more as an art form, but I wanted to create a functional piece of art. Once you kind of learn how to put broom corn on a handle, then you just kind of evolve and you make more and more and do different things, different styles.
Today there's no mistaking a George Jones broom, although there is sometimes some confusion between George Jones the broom maker and the other George Jones who used to live around here, which isn't always bad.
It's got me some great hotel rooms. I mean, you know, it's George Jones, I'm in a room, you know. Next thing I know, I'm on the coast in a suite, you know, and I check in, they're like, wait a second. Well, 2 days later, we overbooked this room. You got to move the back side of the hotel. I'm like, oh, man.
No, this George Jones is an original, and so is a broom from George's broom closet, beginning with the broom corn he grows himself.
Broom corn is kind of a misnomer. It's actually a variety of sorghum. The plant grows about 6 feet tall, and this is the very top part of the plant. It's covered with seed. I had to thresh the seed off of this and put it in a drying shed. This dries for about 6 weeks. It's ready to make a broom. You know, there's nothing that beats a natural broom corn broom. There's just nothing.
The tag on one of George's brooms says, "This broom will make sweeping fun." Now, one of the things I know is that sweeping has never been a lot of fun for me. But the other thing is, we're all going to have to do it sometime. So why not do it with a good broom? It might make sweeping a little bit less of a chore. And if your broom comes from George's broom closet, it'll be absolutely Alabama.
I would have loved to live from right after the Civil War up until the turn of the century. I would have loved to live right in there. I don't know how long I would have lived, but
Tried to live
yeah,
long.
because I fancy myself pretty fast with a gun, but you know, there was always somebody come into town a little faster. I don't know why they didn't put me in the movies.
Although B.J. Taylor never made it to be a cowboy star of the silver screen, that didn't mean he'd give up on a dream. So he built his own Old West town right here in Geneva County. He calls it Old Town.
I built the whole town, and then we incorporated the Wild West show in, my son, Shan, and a couple other guys that we got to come down here. It's local. But it started actually renting out when I only had the barn.
In fact, it finally grew into an entire town, complete with marshal's office, undertaker, and even the old Long Branch. In fact, I only found one thing missing.
No dance hall girls.
Marshal, you run a pretty quiet town here.
I try to. Sometimes I have problems. You never know when it's going to happen.
Hey, Marshal!
What could I help you with, boy?
You the marshal in this town?
I am.
I come here to kill you. You hung my brother last week outside town out there. I don't take that.
No bad men, marshals, or reporters were actually harmed in this showdown. Well, a visit to Old Town can get a bit rambunctious, but it's always a lot of fun, and it's absolutely Alabama.
This nation buries a veteran every 52 seconds. U.S. law requires, at the death of a veteran, that their family be presented a flag on behalf of a grateful nation. And so any veteran who has served honorably, served their nation, their family is entitled to a flag at the time of their burial. And that's the flag we make. It's a special flag for a lot of reasons, but it's special because it's 100% domestic. There's nothing foreign in that flag. We've been in continuous production for 19 years. We've made 1.9 million of them.
But there's more to the Phoenix organization than the important work of sewing flags.
The vision in the late 60s of a number of business leaders here in Huntsville was an organization that could help people with disabilities go to work. And then in 1973, the federal government passed a wonderful law called the Ability One program that allows the federal government to set aside contracts for nonprofits that employ people with disabilities. Out of the 600 employees we have, almost 500 are people with severe vocational disabilities who probably otherwise would not have a job if we did not have those jobs for them. Folks love to see us making flags because it's colorful, but we make flags to provide jobs for people.
On behalf of a grateful nation, we hear those words all too often these days because every minute we lose a veteran. But here in Huntsville, there's a place that salutes those veterans on behalf of a grateful nation, providing jobs and flags which are all American and absolutely Alabama.